it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you another coloring video. I'm going to be doing one specific critter in multiple different ways. I've been doing this series for quite some time now here on my channel. I usually do one of these a month, and I keep them in a little photo album that I picked up at my local thrift store. And I keep this on my desk where I refer back to this quite often. So I'm just doing a quick flip through to show you all of the videos that I've done so far. I usually pick something that kind of fits with the month or the season that we're in or is upcoming, or I'll go with a critter that is newly being released in stamp form, which is the case today. So I am going to be coloring Geese in 6 different ways using the brand new Lawn Fawn Silly Goose stamp set, which as I'm recording this just came out last night. So I've stamped my images on Catherine Pooler Favorite White cardstock with Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink, and I'm going to be coloring with my Copic markers, and we are going to start super basic with this first goose. We're going to go with what people commonly think of when they think of geese, which is just a white goose. We're going to give him a little bit of a cream color to him so that he has a bit of definition, and I'm going to do that using E50 and E51, and then I'm going to bring in my colorless blender to just help that E51 transition to the white cardstock, so that white cardstock is actually going to be our highlight. I will rearrange those caps to make room for the colors that I'm going to use for the beak and the feet, and those are going to be YR02, YR04, and YR07. So I'm going to start with that YR07 closest to the face and on the legs, bring that out with the YR04, and then fill in with the YR02. And then I will grab a pen and jot down those numbers for you so that you can stamp out and color these images along with me if you purchase this stamp set. I obviously cannot make it a printable because I do not own the rights to these images. So for goose number 2, we're again going to go super basic, but I'm going to do my shading with some gray tones instead. I know a lot of people like to do their white colored animals in kind of like a gray combo. So I decided to go with the warm gray for this one. I'm using W00, W1, and W3. So I started with that W3 for a little bit of shadow, blending out with the W1, and then I'm going to use that W0 and also transition with that into the white cardstock. So once again, I'm going to leave a little bit of white cardstock showing for an extra highlight. And then for the beak and feet, we're going to just step it up a notch by going with a slightly brighter combo using YR02, YR07, and YR09. And then once again, I will jot down those colors for you guys. And I think this one looks really, really cute as well. It really just depends on the kind of card that you're envisioning. For goose number 3, I'm going to step it up just a touch and actually do a combination of goose 1 and 2. So I'm going to start with those creamy shades that I used on the first one. I'm using that E50 and E51 again. I actually laid them down in the wrong order and grabbed them in the wrong order. So I started with the E50, then laid in the E51, and then went back with the E50 to blend that out. And then once again, just like on the first one, I'm going to grab that colorless blender to help that fade. And then you could absolutely go in with the warm grays for the wing and the tail, but I just wanted to show you a different option. So I'm going to use the toner grays. I'm going to use T0, T1, T3, and T5. And I'm going to start with the darkest on the tip of the wing and the tail, and then start to pull that forward and help that combine into the creaminess of the rest of the goose. Now he was a little bit too bright for me, a little bit too kind of warm toned. So I decided to soften that a little bit by taking that T0 over the creamy part just to fade that a tiny bit. And then I am going to go in with a second layer on the wing and the tail with all 4 of those shades to just help that blend out a little bit better and make that transition a little bit more smooth. I'll grab that colorless blender once again and then start jotting down those colors right below because I don't have room to do the shades for the feet and the beak until I move those out of the way. I am going to keep some of those toner grays. I kept the T0, T1, and T3, and I'm going to start with that. I was Googling pictures of geese, and some of them have kind of like a transition of kind of like a black or gray on part of their feet, and then it fades into the orange tones. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go back to the first combo that we did on Goose 1 for the beak and feet, but this time I'm reversing the placement. So I'm putting the YR07 at the tip of the beak and the feet, and then blending up in reverse to the lighter shade, so that the YR04 is what ends up blending with that T0, and since they're both super pale, they are going to kind of lay over each other nicely. And I did do a second layer of that as well to just smooth that out, and then I can go ahead and jot down the colors that I used for that right underneath. All right, we are halfway through, and on goose number 4, I am going to step things up a little bit further. I'm going to do a gray goose, but this time I'm going to start adding in a few interesting details, and I'm going to use a whole range of cool grays on this one. I'm going to use C0, C1, C3, C5, and C7. I'm starting with that darkest shade, the C7. I'm doing a little hood on his head that kind of extends down into his neck, and then also adding a dark tip to his wing. And then I'm blending that out with the C5 and the C3. Then I'll come in with the C1 and add a little bit of shading to the belly, back to the tail, and I will also smooth out the transition between the hood on the head and the edge of the wing as it connects to the body. I did that with the C0 as well. And then I decided to go back in with a little bit more of that C7 to darken that up. And I'm going to blend that out once again. I just wanted that to be a little bit more deeply saturated and intense. And that looks fine as is, but I wanted to add a little bit more detail. So now I'm coming in with the C3 and adding just a little bit of extra darkness. It's more of like a medium tone to the tip of the tail and the chest area. So I added that with the C3, and then I'm blending out again with the C1 and the C0. And then I just move those caps up to make room for the orange shades that I'm using for the beak and feet. And I am going to use YR12, YR14, and YR18. These are a little bit more desaturated than the brighter tones that I used on the top row. I often use these for foxes or pumpkins or anything that I want to be orange, and I just want it to have more of a natural look, and I think that went well with this particular goose. So I'm just going to jot down those numbers once again down below. Goose number 5, I'm going to do something similar to goose number 4, but this time we're going to do it in some brown tones. There are also brown geese, and so this time I'm going to do a whole range of E40s. I'm going to use E40, E41, E42, E43 and E44. I love the E40s for critters because I think they have a really natural tone to them. They are a very desaturated brown. They almost have like a little touch of gray in them, and I think they work really well for geese according to the pictures that I googled. So I'm starting with that E44, and like I said, I'm doing something similar to what I did for goose number 4, but this time I'm doing just a cap on the top of his face, like the front of his face, and not extending it quite so far down. I will pull out that color and transition it into the back of his neck, but with a lighter shade than what I did on the gray goose. Just for a different look, I wanted to give you guys some options. I also added a dark patch to the tip of his tail and gave him a little brown chest area. And I am just initially laying out where I want those darker markings to be. I do not practice these videos ahead of time. I do not color any of these images ahead of time so that I can kind of just test things out and do it in real time with you guys. And so sometimes I can see that I like the direction that an image is going, but I want to intensify certain things. So that's why I'll go in and add a second layer. It also just smooths out the blend, and then I can pull some of that deeper color a little bit further. I wanted this goose to be more of a brown and only have a little bit of white on the bottom of the face into the neck. And then I'm going to bring in a different orange combo. This is more of like a golden orange. I'm using YR21, YR24, and YR27. And I really think that these fit well with the browns of the goose as well. I can absolutely picture this combo on a fall card. Then I wanted to add another small detail that I saw on some of the geese that I looked up, and that is to have a little bit of a brown tip to the beak and the edges of the feet. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of a different look. So I did that with the E44, blended out with the E43, and then I went over that again with the YR21 to just smooth that transition between the kind of golden oranges and the brown tones. And then of course I'll just jot down those numbers. I used quite a lot on that one, so I'm trying to fit those in there. And we are down to our 6th and final goose. And for this one, I had to do a Canada goose. I have so many around me where I live. I see them just about any time I get in my car to go anywhere. They are literally everywhere. Sometimes I don't even have to get in my car. They fly over my house all the time. I have so many Canada geese where I live, so I absolutely had to include them in this video. So I am going to use T5, T7, and T9 for the darkest parts, which also include their beaks and their feet, since that's how Canada geese look. And I am adding that T9 first. It's super dark. I usually don't even go that far, but I wanted it to look really black. So I added that first, blended out with the T7, and then I used the T5. Canada geese have a little white patch just under their eye area. It's kind of like a half moon shape. So I left that on the face. And then I added the black tail and the tip of the wing. And then I'm going to transition into some brown shades. And I'm going to use the same E40s I did on goose number 5 because it just works so well for Canada geese. So I'm coming in with that E44, blending out with the E43. For the tail, I skipped the E44. I wanted the wing to be a little bit darker. And then I'm going to blend that out even further with the E42. And then I'm going to switch to the E41 to kind of transition between the neck and where the wing connects to the body, and also transition from the brown part of the tail into the belly area. I'll add a little bit of shading on the belly and also where the neck meets the body. And then I needed one more shade, so I did bring in the E40 to help that transition even further. I did also grab that colorless blender to fade from the E40 into the white cardstock on the chest area. And then I'm going to go ahead and jot down those colors. And I think that is a pretty good representation of a Canada goose. I am really pleased with how that one turned out. So of course these geese need some rosy cheeks to just bring them even more to life. So I am going to do a warm cheek combination for the top row, and that is R11, R20, and R22. I would say this is my most used combo for cheeks. I think it just is really realistic. I mean, not that the rosy cheeks on geese are realistic, but this is what I would use for people as well. But if I wanted something a little bit more cool toned to match the colors of the pattern paper or the rest of the card, sometimes I will use this combo, which is RV10, RV11, and RV13. And I think that looks really nice as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lift up this panel so you can see those geese a little bit more closely. I'm really pleased with how these turned out. Of course, there are more ways to color geese. I just wanted to give you guys a couple of different options. I am going to have a card on the Lawn Fawn YouTube channel tomorrow that will have another goose in a similar combination, and definitely stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below letting me know which goose was your favorite and what critter I should color next. Please subscribe if you haven't already and ring that notification bell if you want to be alerted when I post new videos. The products I use will be listed and linked in the description bar below in case you'd like to pick up anything for yourself. And if you'd like to keep watching, here are 2 extra videos I thought you would also enjoy. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you soon in the next. Bye-bye.